Hello everyone, it's me Adi, and I'm back with another video. Today I wanted to talk about the PlayStation State of Play that happened on February 12th, which as of recording was yesterday. We got to see what games we're getting from not just PlayStation, but in the gaming space in general for the coming months. Though I am excited, it does seem like there was a bit of criticism, so I will be touching up on that as well. Before we get into it, please be sure to leave a like and a sub. Though I love making content, it does take a lot of time, so any support is always appreciated. I'm also doing a giveaway for WWE 2K25 as part of another project I'm doing. The giveaway is on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. So if you want a chance to win, go show some love down below. And yeah, with all of that out of the way, let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the general presentation. Sony gave us about 46 minutes of games coming to the console. There are quite a few, so I'm going to try not to stay too long on each. They started the presentation with what looks like to be the final pre-release promo for Monster Hunter Wilds, showing us new monsters like Jindahad and a new form of Rathalos. I was also really hyped to see Mizutsune because she's top 5 monsters for me in all of the series. There's not much to say here since I've had this game pre-ordered and ready to go since December, and it's also top 3 in my most anticipated games of 2025. So yeah, I will probably be nonstop playing this in 2 weeks. Next, they had a small segment for upcoming games from Sega and Bandai, like the Sonic Racing game and the Yakuza Pirate game, which both look really fun. They then showed this new Shinobi Art of Vengeance game, which I believe is a new IP. This game looks like it's Messenger, Dead Cells, and Hades. It looks like they all came together and had a baby, and it looks really fun. It's a side-scrolling ninja game. Kinda looks like Messenger, to be honest. So yeah, I'm definitely giving this a try. Soon, like right after, we got gameplay for the new Digimon game, which looks like Pokemon. I mean, Digimon and Pokemon have always had like that culture rivalry, but it looks like they're really tapping into that, and it looks fun. I'm gonna give it a try. And we also got the new Warriors roguelike game, which is Warriors Abyss, that shadow dropped during the event. And I just want to mention that I love when companies do this, and I think we need more shadow releases during presentations. It builds hype and it leaves people with something new after you present products that we won't be getting for months and sometimes even years from now. And because we still have about 40 minutes of the presentation to go through, I'm going to avoid talking about every announcement, and I'm just going to like speed list them just so you guys get like a general idea of what was shown. I will post a link to the state of play down below, and I'm pretty sure you could just Google the trailers individually and you'll have them. But yeah, I recommend watching because it was decent. If you're a gamer, I think there's something in here for you somewhere. So I'm just going to list them now. Okay, so we got trailers for Lost Soul Aside, Dave the Diver, WWE 2K25, which obviously I'm hyped for, Borderlands 4, Split Fiction, Directive 8020, which is a horror anthology game, a new FNAF game, The Midnight Walk, Darwin's Paradox, which I think was a sleeper of the show, Onimusha 2 Remaster, and Onimusha Way of the Sword, which we saw at the Game Awards, MGS Snake Eater, which who's not hyped for, Hell is Us, new DLC for Lies of P, Dreams of Another, Tides of Annihilation, Metal Eden, Mind's Eye, and to close, we got a new House Marquee IP called Saros. They're the people who made Returnal, so I know this game is about to bang. I saw the circles like spinning and I thought it was a Returnal Part 2, but I'm excited to see a new IP. They're risking it and trying something new, and Rahul Kohli as the main character, or what seems to be the main character, hell yeah, day one buy for me. Like I said, not only was everything shown somewhat recently announced or just announced as a new IP at the presentation, but it also all looked kind of good. We get heavy hitters in here like Split Fiction, which comes out next month, Borderlands 4, which we got a release date for, and Metal Gear Solid. And we also got brand new IPs like Lost Soul Aside, Tides of Annihilation, and Metal Eden, and like 5 other new IPs. So there's a lot to be hyped about here as a gamer. Overall, for me personally, I thought this was a great presentation. There wasn't a whole lot of first party, but it was a decent selection of games that appeals to every kind of gamer. On first watch, I gave this presentation an 8 out of 10. I would have liked to see at least one more game from Sony, or at least a peek at something they've began developing for the future to ease the anger over the cancellation wave last month. Maybe another look at Intergalactic or something? I don't know. Also, no Death Stranding 2, which made me kind of sad. I guess I'll just have to wait for the presentation in March, which I am very, very much looking forward to. One thing that I find quite puzzling is the reaction post presentation from the online crowd. Now, again, I understand people love to be negative online, and a lot of big content creators feed off of that and ride the wave for engagement, but I just can't understand what people expected. We know a lot of Sony studios just had their games canceled, and we should criticize them for even putting the studios in that situation in the first place. But did we really expect a 40+ minute presentation on first party games? To me, that just seems completely unrealistic. At this point, I'm surprised and excited we even got one. Sure, we got over 10 third party games shown, but that's a good thing. More third party games means more games. That means everyone wins. Who cares what console you play it on? Part of me really feels like people yelling over things like this don't even play games at all, because who cares if we get other first parties or other third parties? At this point, we shouldn't even be having first party, especially if it's going to be locked behind a console that costs over $500. I'm all for giving a company criticism in order for them to be more consumer friendly, but it definitely needs to be measured. The community dealt with years of Nintendo and Xbox showing us indie and third party, sometimes not even showing a first party at all. I think we need to lower our expectations considering the trend of how these presentations work. If you've noticed, they're barely giving us stuff that is far away from release because they understand that everyone's attention span is completely fried. We can't expect 9 first party games in a 6-month span because that's just unrealistic. Though this presentation shouldn't be the standard, it's nowhere near as bad as people making it seem to be. They showed at least one game from every genre and even sprinkled some DLC and live service for the people who do like that. A decent balance and a good view of what's to come in the near future. I personally am excited, just like I was for Xbox, for what Sony showed. Now we just have Nintendo, and we kind of have a good landscape of what we have coming the first half of the year, and maybe a peek at what we're going to see the second half of the year. As a gamer, I don't care what I play on as long as I get to play games and talk about them and collect them. And I feel like everyone should be too. Let's criticize, but let's also take our W's where we can. All right, that's all I have for today. Comment down below what you guys enjoyed from the presentation. And you know what? Let me know if you thought it was shit. I would love to see your opinions and maybe we could talk about it. But like I always say, do not be mean. You all have a good one and goodbye now.